Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another Eurovision 2023 interview here on the channel. I am joined today by a band that might have you thinking, do I want to dance? It's the Busker from Malta. Hey everyone!
Hey.
Hello.
Now, first question, have you ever been introduced like that?
No,
No, actually,
and I liked it.
I like the yeah.
Thank
And
you,
yes,
thank you.
let's dance.
I always like to come up with a way where I'm like, okay, so everyone's just going to introduce and say their name. How can I pull something from your song and see if you recognize that I just threw your own lyrics back at you?
Perfectly done.
Well, awesome. Thank you. So, how are things going? How are preparations coming along for our journey to Liverpool in May?
Well, I think obviously preparations are on their way. I mean, definitely they're going at. I mean, it's quite weird to be fair. I think I had expectation. I mean, we had expectations, but at the same time, we didn't know how things work. We're learning a lot as we go along because we're used to being so hands-on. We're used to being so the project managers of everything.
Micromanager.
Yeah. So for us, it's been a learning curve to allow things to happen and allow the process and what's the word I'm looking for? Just
Trust the process.
trust the process. So for us, the big learning curve to trust the process of how things happen. Up until the finals night, we were so hands on everything, and we're so used to if you really want it, you work for it and you work hard for it. That now having things delegated between a team
It's weird.
weird, and it's
Really weird, man.
so unusual for us.
And we have a bit of trust issues, so
Yeah, we're used to
Hey guys, we still micromanage everything, man.
but yeah, so for us, it's about learning how to let go and allow things to happen.
Fair. Fair. So it sounds like the journey to Eurovision is going to be a great growth experience and learning lesson for you all,
Yes.
as well as, of course, getting your name out there and having some of that international recognition, which I know in Malta is sometimes hard to get.
Yes.
But I have one listener from America who really wants to ask y'all about the staging for Liverpool. I'm not
Okay.
going to get into the details. I know that you probably don't have a whole picture of what it's going to look like, but they want to know, are the cardboard cutouts going to be making their way to Liverpool for the live stage?
Fresh ones.
I think we need to play the blueprint. I
mean,
mean,
the blueprint will remain the
No.
same,
um,
but we shan't divulge too much information.
um,
Okay.
let's try to be politicians with this answer. No, the thing is this, yeah, we most of the things that were received well, we plan to put into our Liverpool staging.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair
uh,
enough.
that should answer a lot of the things. We our challenge mostly is this, and I think the head of delegation from Malta had a conversation with the board who's taking care of Eurovision this year, and the surprise was that we don't want things too polished. Um,
Mm.
so the thing is that we're used to things looking half good.
school project.
Yeah, the school project vibe. Um, uh, so even though it is a bigger stage and it's an international stage where things usually are the best and the most best executed, I think we're trying to still create a bit of elements of a handmade project, like John said, and we want to create a level of authenticity to perfectly represent who we are as people. I always believe that perfection is only one concept. There are other concepts that you can look at. I think we're looking into the other side of perfection at this point.
Okay. Well, and you've also said that Dance Your Own Party is basically the signature Busker sound. So I'm curious to ask you, how would you describe the band's signature sound? Signature sound. That's hard.
So I think the signature, yes, you're right. Dance Our Own Part is representing what the Busker stands for in 2023. Um, we have evolved throughout these past 10 years since our formation as a style. For those people who go and listen to our songs on Spotify, they can see that our style was different way back. And if they started listening to our repertoire, you can see that we started out as a folk band, and then we moved on to a bit of blues, rock and roll kind of vibe, and then we shifted more into soul, pop, funk element. And throughout this whole journey, sort of, then it brought us to dance our own party, which at the moment it is what's representing the Busker, which is a mix of funk, a bit of electronic, bit of pop, bit of soul. So it's a mix of genre. We try not to limit ourselves to one genre. We'd love to sort of get different inspirations. Even the three of us individually, we come from different backgrounds musically. So each one of us has different styles, and even when we present our songs, usually if Dave is going to present the song, is going to be different from what I'm going to present, or what Sean's going to present. And I think that's the beauty of it, because then we sort of mix each other elements, and that's where the Busker sound come. So I think moving forward, yes, it it won't be a repetition of that. So if we're going to release songs in the future, it won't be sort of an exact replica. I think we keep on evolving, and we keep on challenging ourselves, and we keep on experiment with our sound. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, Dave, this next question is specifically for you. So, whilst the Busker may have had their first, I guess, attempt at Eurovision, I noticed that you appeared in a former Eurovision selection of the X Factor Malta back in 2019/2020 for the season. So I'm curious to know from your perspective, what did you learn about yourself while you were participating on the show? And then also for our other friends here, how did you all end up recruiting him into the band?
Because we're good.
Nice,
That's why.
We spot the talent.
Look at this guy. I love him. I love him. You can carry on with your question now, honey.
No. Basically,
High five, check.
for us,
Oh, victory. What?
no, for us, first and foremost, it's quite well known that Malta is a small country, and even though it's small, it's very hard to get through to the local audience. I think the biggest challenges we all faced in music was getting our product out there. Now, I know it's a global and universal problem. However, for some reason, Maltese people don't like to consume local music. Or better yet, let me rephrase it.
Most.
Most Maltese people do not look for Maltese music because it tends to be fed through their TV screen. Now, when the decision for me to partake in X Factor to season 2 in Malta came about after I had a bit of personal dips and downfalls where I was in Australia for 8 months during 2018, specifically in Melbourne, where I was focusing on music. Then, for a tragic reason, unfortunately, I had to come back to Malta and find my place back into my old job, and where I felt all of a sudden I took myself out of this. I took the decision to focus on music, but yet here I am again. Then I realized that the best thing to do is not delve deep into what if or the what could haves, and work with the tools presented. And I remember during the same day there was the call for the auditions for X Factor season 2, and I pondered about it, but then I soul searched in a way, found myself watching an old interview I had with a radio station, where I was telling myself, if you really love something, you'll push on through it, um, no matter the face or the opportunity, what it is basically. And I found the courage to send my audition tape to X Factor. What I learned in X Factor were two or three things, to try and downsize them. First and foremost is that local television or Maltese television is still one of the best mediums for any sort of information in Malta. Maltese, and then I realized that Maltese people love following local artists. The problem is that they're not aware of where to look for them. And most of the time, it's not about going outside the house to go to a bar and find music. It's about I'm happy, I'm comfortable in my home, and this is the time I have dedicated to look for talent.
Hmm.
There's also the show aspect in these cases, in these type of shows. So X Factor, even though it's surrounded around music and talent, I'm pretty sure that it's a small percentage, whereas the rest is show. You know, I mean, we
Yeah.
all know that. Even the production team knows that. Um, so the drama aspect, I never fed into, and that was something else that we carried forward for this year in Eurovision as well. Um, uh, Taking the three things that I learned also was the second one, that even though I love acoustic songs and that they are what make me feel is the idea of beauty in music, most people don't want to be reminded of the negative things in life. They want to be forget about those things and move forward in a positive note. Especially since music tends to be an opium for the negativity in life,
Mm.
and it's kind of ne- is there to give you a good time so that you'd be able to face what your life is about. Again,
Yeah.
this is just one section of it. I'm just saying that maybe the general public is mostly leaning towards this idea. And the third thing, which I kind of learned, was that you need strategy.
Well, that's fair. And I think that all of those lessons are, of course, really relevant when you're thinking about the application for the Malta Eurovision Song Contest. And I would say now as well for kind of your journey there to Eurovision and to Liverpool. Those are all applicable ideas. Now, I want to kind of, I guess, volley a little bit off of what you had mentioned about perhaps not a super positive message, but told through a positive tone or a positive song. Because your song, as you've said in many interviews, is kind of around having social anxiety and perhaps putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, but I guess having a fun time while you're doing it. So, first, what made you decide to really settle in on this message for a potential Eurovision entry?
Something he said before was that the song had to represent all of us. And there's one thing that represented all of us. It's that we all felt comfortable in our studios, in our houses with friends. We never were the ones to feel really comfortable in a club with tons of people or anything like that. And we're performers. In a club with tons of people. Usually we're on the stage, really far from the people. So we'll be comfortable in our little party there in reality, with our own little inside jokes going on in the in ears, and that's how we do things, always as a unit together.
And I mean, in a way, the thing is this: sometimes I still laugh at myself for the fact that this is the song that won. It's like how did people like hang on to this song, this lyric, and be like, yes, this is it, good job. Like
I
this
can
is
feel it.
yeah.
It's the one there.
Like it's crazy to think that some people actually went like, these lyrics are actually relatable. Like we're actually telling our story. It is what it is what it is. We are. It is what it is, man. We are very socially awkward. All of us in a very different way. I think we're just the whole spectrum of social awkwardness.
I hide in the noise.
Yeah, John is the one who's observant. I'm just the one who is pacing around, looking like in cloud nine, but obviously my mind is trailing elsewhere. But yeah, it's what we wanted is to create something that represented us, and if when we were writing the production felt upbeat, felt like a party, felt dancey, but we're not dancey, we're not club people. So trying to put lyrics which are like, hey, let's go there, we're great people, we're cool, let's ride in a car, that's not us, unfortunately.
And even we got the name of the song wrong when we said, like, listen, I have a song for you. We said Gaga Radio, not Radio Gaga.
Yeah.
So there was also play on words because it shows lack of confidence.
Exactly. So we really went to town with the characterization of the song. It's like recently I found a reaction video where someone complained like, the hey, wait, what you say? Do you want to dance? Is very cheesy, but that's what we wanted. We wanted to take a phrase which anyone can pull off, like this very either hot individual coming and be like, hey, you want to dance? But we're trying to say it. It comes off differently,
I can't say it myself.
Yeah, so
I
like,
can't imagine saying that face to face.
yeah, we can't sell it. So
Just give them an exclusive. Say it.
yeah,
Say it, Sean.
I don't-
Say it. You gotta say it. I can feel it. You can say it.
Say it. What you say? I cannot look at you in the eye.
You see? You see? Thank you.
so that's what we want. It's
Yeah.
like for me at first I was like, this is the lyric I'm going for, and I was like, yes, that's the lyric I'm going for, because I'm not one to say it, so me trying to say it will come off weird,
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's basically
Yeah.
I don't want to blab too much.
Yeah, well, I think that's really important because I think we're at a point in Eurovision where if you maybe send a song that is not authentic to you as an artist and a performer, you can usually pick up on it when you're watching it because that person looks awkward or they're like, oh, I'm not a dancer, but they gave me choreography and I'm kind of just like, half doing it, but I'm not comfortable. You are now in your own element of, I guess, comfort because you get to use that kind of quirky and fun social awkwardness in your advantage through a song that is specifically about that. So I'm interested. Of course, we've got about a month and a half to get to rehearsals. I'm interested to see what you have planned on how this will all come together. So I'll wait patiently. But I want to ask you one general Eurovision question. So of course we have the other 36 artists who have all been selected from the other countries. Who has kind of been on your list to watch? Who's maybe some of your favorites right now? And it's okay if those are individual answers.
Before we answer this question, I think it's safe to say that our favorites are all in our semifinal.
Yep. And it is what it is.
But like when you the question who you're looking out for, is it in terms of competition? Like who are we kind of, or is it a matter of like,
Who do you like?
who do you like?
We can take both. Who do you think is your biggest competition, and who are you most excited to meet in Liverpool?
My case is the same. So the ones I like the most are probably the best competition. I don't know, as in what I think is the best competition. So obviously what people think will be completely different. So yeah. My personally is Israel. But last time after we had a long conversation during a barbecue, I heard lots of the other songs as well repetitively rather than just on my own. And I got their opinions and them pointing out certain things we didn't hear before. Finland also pops out to me, and my girlfriend's obsessed with the UK one, so I'm listening to it constantly. And I really like that one as well. So there are a lot of songs I like. I can't really just take a pick of one, speaking for myself.
Fair enough.
Mine, I think Serbia for sure. Currently, that's my favorite. Luke Black's entry. There's also Azerbaijan. Tell me more. I think that's they're one of my favorites. And Finland. So I think those are my top three at the moment.
Okay.
Mine,
And the Italian song as well. I like it.
That's nice.
I'm going with the Netherlands, burning daylight or wasting daylight, something like that. It's very close to home in the sense what I'm used to listening to, but definitely I've been listening over and over to the official playlist of Eurovision. Each and every one of them ends up being a jam, you know. So there's the Serbia one from the Black, the Finland one, Cha Cha Cha. Um, Remind me, um, what's my sister's crown? I forgot the country.
Yes, that one, Czech Republic.
Czech Republic.
Czech
Yeah.
Republic.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's
I like
another
it.
one,
I like
which
this
is
one as well.
great.
Yes, that's great.
At this point, I've been hearing our semifinals night too much.
Fair enough. Well, and I think, first of all, your answer from earlier of saying that everyone has their own influences, I feel like I just received a little bit of those influences from each of you since everyone's answer was different. But I also like to just throw a jab in there that I'm always for potential Eurovision 23 artist collaborations. So perhaps as we journey towards Liverpool, we should have some conversations with those artists on new music with the Busker. Just throwing out
Yes.
some ideas, you know?
We
Okay.
love
All right.
collaborations.
So can you pitch it out for us, and
Yes.
we'll just be behind you, eagerly waiting for the reply.
Because
Sure.
we're going to go and there's like, listen, we want to collaborate with you. We want to like hide someone.
And can you pitch a saxophone solo, please?
I mean, hey, once we're in Liverpool, hopefully I'll be doing a lot of interviews in person. So if y'all just want to follow me around and just be in the background, like
Perfect. Yeah.
us,
We'll
I
be the
think it'll
cutouts.
settle. Yeah. Well, I want to close us out with one final question. What final message do you have for the people who are watching this interview right now?
Too much pressure. No, basically, for sure. Thanks a lot, first and foremost, to you, Connor, for this interview. I mean, we've been saying it, but it's so much of an honor for us to be able to have these kind of interactions and this kind of building these type of relationships. For us, it's been an utter pleasure having this conversation and having the opportunity to deliver our message. We're not used to being held or given the opportunity to present ourselves as artists. I think in our everyday jobs and lifestyle, we tend to push our artistic selves aside to be able to function in the community. So for us, this means a lot. Having the ability to represent Malta, and more than that, in a way, having the opportunity to present Malta in Eurovision, for us is honestly great. I mean, I don't know what's more than great. It's the best thing that could happen to us at this point. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for following. You can definitely follow us more once we're in Liverpool, because we'll be the guys behind Connor, shying away from the other artists.
Waving off.
If you guys want to listen to our song, it's definitely on Spotify. If you want to guys follow us on Instagram, we're there.
We'll see the video on YouTube.
See the video on YouTube, and don't hesitate to come talk to us. We're all constantly on our socials, replying to messages, hearing you out. That's who we want to stay as artists. Hopefully, we'll manage to do that as well.
Awesome.
Vote for Malta.
And if you can, vote for Malta.
Yes, exactly. No, I think that's a great message. And I always like to leave it off as, I guess, a little bit of a reminder that, Eurovision is super important, but your artistic careers continue after the contest. So if you're watching this and you love the Maltese entry, make sure that you go and follow the Busker on Spotify, on YouTube, on Instagram. Make sure that you're supporting them year round, whether you are from Malta or you are from Australia or Finland. Give them some love. And I will also do a shameless plug that if you want to give us some love, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, the like button, all that jazz, because that helps our videos even more. And we do have a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, so you do not want to miss it. Trust me, there's some great video content. But of course, like we've already said before, I will see you all in Liverpool. But to those who are watching, I will see you next time. Goodbye.